Hey everybody, we are Dicey Decisions, and here we are at episode 1 of a brand new campaign. This is Tales by Pyrelight, our first Daggerheart campaign on our stream. We've done several one-shots but haven't dove into a campaign, and we are super excited to take a narrative journey together, building this world and its events together collaboratively in the Daggerheart system. We Our channel currently has two other campaigns. We have a Monday night campaign called Zeros to Heroes, run by our buddy Jack, which is set in the world of Tal'Dorei from Critical Role. And we have our Twist of Fate campaign on Friday nights, which is playing through Turn of Fortune's Wheel from the Planescape set, including some Book of Many Things content mixed into Vecna Eve of Ruin, taking that campaign all the way from level 3 to level 20. We are super excited as that campaign is in its final quarter, as it were, in the higher echelon of the campaign. So things are heating up quite a bit, and a fun twist is actually happening. So come check out our other two campaigns as well. This campaign, as we are just starting out, our plan is this will be a bi-weekly campaign. So every other Tuesday night is our plan. Moving forward, obviously, we might have some life conflicts that come up, but hopefully we will stick to that schedule. Super excited for getting this new campaign kickstarted off the ground. We had a session 0, which you can check out on our YouTube channel, where we talked a little bit about world building and gave a bunch of character background and did our character connections session, which was so much fun as everyone kind of developed their characters' relationships together, which was a lot of fun. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. And otherwise, come join us as we go down this road in Tales of Pyrelight set in the Age of Umbra campaign frame. Things in Orcos have been stressful at best lately. Things have not gone as planned. Harvests in the late summer and early fall have come up short, and there is a level of concern over the winter ahead, and will the stockpiles be enough? Several hunting parties have come back with more injuries than normal, including one that lost an old hunter to the Umbra. Stress is high. Concern is red on everyone's face as you make your way through Orcos. But life must continue. You are the enduring, and everybody finds a way to buckle down and continue to move forward with hope at their heart. Speaking of hope, make sure you begin the session with 2 hope on your character sheets, as I will begin with 8 fear.
That's too many fears.
Yeah. I veto that.
This is collaborative storytelling, right? We would like fewer fears.
I don't write the rules, man. True, that's technically true. I guess I could.
But you could rewrite them. Yes.
Please, sir.
So.
Please, fewer fears.
So, Loma, where are you on this early fall day? Where can you be found? What are you doing?
I am probably I'm a couple miles out of Orco in a tree, um, probably sitting and just staring at the sky, the darkened, hazy sky, and finding bits of light that catch my interest, and just taking a moment, seemingly by myself, in peace.
As you find yourself in this environment, sitting in this tree, and you feel the bark underneath your fingers on the branch that you sit on, and it takes you back. It takes you back to a moment where you felt complete and total dread. Describe for me the moment that you're reliving.
I close my eyes and I hear the yelling of a young woman, and then another in unison. And the sound pulls my spirit open to this vision of who, who are my sisters, though maybe not in blood. Um, you see a all black head to toe Qatari, 16, 15 or so woman who's very, very sharp behind the eyes, but is piercing my eyes with hers with such fear, being pulled away by I don't know what. We're by the river or the stream near Orcos, adjacent to the lake, and the second cry pulls my attention to my sister Estelle, an elven 12-year-old, younger, much younger, but fighting much harder than Kalima physically, or the Qatari woman. Um, these big hulking shadows are pulling them away as I dart through the brush around this marsh, my knees stuck in the mud, rushing to stealthily and quickly and quietly get as close as I can.
As this is happening and as you are living, go ahead and make me a uh, agility check to try to get closer to them.
Okay, so to do an agility check, I'm going to roll a d20.
Nope, you're
Oh,
gonna
we're
roll
throwing my hope and
2d12.
fear. 2d12. All right, the hope and the fear one.
Correct.
Okay, I got it. So I got a 10 with fear.
So your leg is wrenched out of the mud and you are able to move forward. However, in doing so, you have cut your knee open and you take a wound.
Okay. I pull through the mud, ignoring the tear, ignoring the physical sensation that normally would overwhelm me of feeling so trapped and stuck, and I keep pushing through to get closer. I must get closer. There isn't another choice.
As the screams get louder, what would you like to try to do to get closer?
I'm going um to look for branches. I know when I'm of sound mind and more awake and aware than I am in this moment that I can traverse this terrain well when I can see the path. So I start looking for a faster path out of the mud on any branches or fallen trees.
Make me an instinct roll.
Instinct. Same thing. 2 die.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 17 with even, so that's a critical, right? 8 and 8.
Yeah,
Or over
if the
the
dice match, that is a critical success. So
yeah,
you would clear a stress if you had one, which you don't.
no.
You gain a hope,
Okay.
so mark that. And as this you reach for these tree branches, and they move you forward, and you begin to see a option, a chance. Now, in this core memory, did you rescue them?
Yes.
So you are able to rescue them, and as you get to them, you relive this moment of relief as you come back to your initial environment, and you're sitting there in the tree looking at the points of light again and remembering what that felt like. Change your hit point wound that I gave you to a stress, please.
Absolutely.
Where do we find Orave on this early fall day?
Orve has just gotten back from another trip into Amber Reach. She, the one of the tavern keepers tasked her with tracking down a fairly rare cask of wine, and she's the guy. So she had just gotten back and delivered it to the tavern keeper. She's pretty tired. She's been up all night.
So as you come out of the back or head into the back room of the tavern to drop off this cask, you smell the that day's lunch, a stew, very humble, brewing in the corner, and the smell unlocks a core memory for you, a memory not too comfortable.
It's
What is this memory?
Unfortunately, it smells like home, if you could call it home. Um, Deep in the heart of Amber Reach, um, nestled as close to the heart of the stronghold of the Damask Queens, where her mother is one of the higher ups. Um, it reminds her of her childhood and a moment where she was trying to figure out if this is where she belonged or not, and made the very unfortunate mistake of broaching the subject with her mother, questioning whether or not this is where she should be. Um, there aren't a lot of memories from there. She's blacked most of them out because her mother is not a kind woman. It's far from it, actually. But the smell reminds her of the safety she sought out immediately following that unfortunate evening. And she'd retreated into the shadows and still in her home watched her mother as a couple of the other higher ups came to speak with her, and they were discussing what they were going to do with some Celsian captives that they had apprehended. And her stomach turned. She remembers her stomach turning at how casually they discussed the things they would do to these people. But she was so small. There was nothing she could do about it. And that made her stomach turn even more.
And in self-preservation, what in this memory did you try to do to block this out, to get away from it?
Hide better. Be smaller.
Give me a finesse roll, please.
That is a 16 with fear.
You able to hide wherever it was that made you more comfortable. However, in doing so, it puts you closer to earshot, and you heard your mother laughing at one of the suggestions of these soldiers, making your stomach retch even more. Take a point of stress.
Okay.
Their conversation's going to continue. What can you do to stop? What can you do to change your situation?
Get out. That's when I figured out that I could get out, and I started doing it more and more and more often.
How did you leave without your mother seeing you?
I learned how to be quiet.
Make me another finesse roll to try to sneak out of the house.
That's double fives.
That is a critical success. So clear that stress. As you not only do you sneak out and get outside, you notice that a friend of yours is out in the street playing. Someone you think is safe. Someone you know you can confide in or not, but that will bring you a peaceful and safe feeling to go spend some time with. And as you run across the street to see your friend smiles as they come up, greeting you, grabbing your hand and running into the woods with you. And as you do that, you find yourself back in the inn next to the stew pot. Knowing you're pretty resilient. Knowing you've seen ugly. You've seen evil. You've felt it up close. But it has not deterred you. And you continue about your day.
After I hack up a fur ball to get the taste of the smell of that out of my nose. I am Qatari.
Yes, very much so.
Partly.
Understandable.
Half, at least.
Ollie, where are you on this
Well,
early fall day?
well, Ollie has sort of read the discontent in the wind a little bit. And as a traveler and relative newcomer to Orcos, he has decided that the best thing that he can do for himself right now is to keep himself very busy and very useful to the people around him. So that as the harvests come up a little bit short, maybe somebody will have a bowl of rice for poor Ollie. So Ollie is kind of hustling and bustling sort of through the streets of Orcos. He has picked up a couple of odd jobs, tinkering projects and that, and he is on his way to just sort of drop off his projects and collect his small sums. making sure to undercharge some folks, that maybe can be beneficial to him, or maybe have the ear of the community. Overcharge people that are maybe a little bit of a jerk. Just being Ollie.
As you make your way through the city and you make your particular stops and business transactions, you do notice the overall mood of the city is worsening each day, and it is even folks that normally have a bright and cheery smile and demeanor for you and are considered a friend even are just have a sadness behind their eyes or worry or a concern. And as you're dropping stuff off, um, one of them, you see they're fidgeting with something that looks to be broken, uh, and they're getting frustrated and they're getting angry. And in that anger, you start to see the pressure manifesting. What would you like to do to help?
My friend, I see that you are struggling, and I will kind of just pat their forearm very gently. Say, I am a bit of a tinker. One moment, let Ollie look at it, and I will. May I?
Yeah, and he says, I can't even fathom what happened. And you see that it is this box that has a kind of it's meant to be like a safety box that hides stuff of valuables, that kind of thing, personal effects, and
Sure.
it's meant to like twist open and turn and twist open in a way that a box normally doesn't. So like if you try to lift the lid, it's not supposed to open. But right now, that's all that's happening is it's acting like a normal box, and the mechanism inside is all sorts of messed up, and he doesn't know what's happened to it. And as he hands it to you, you touch this box, and this box in your hand, the wood and the metal, unlock a memory of yours, a memory that caused you great stress. What is that memory?
Well, so there. Once the earthquakes started, and our sort of caverns sort of opened up, we started to get visitors from the outside world, and we hadn't seen anybody in generations. We didn't know that people even existed, right? Besides us in our little underground enclave, and so um, at that time also there was much sort of consternation and agitation, where we were used to be the only people in the world, and now all of a sudden there is a whole world beyond that. And not only that, there are people in it, and not all of them are maybe as generous and kind-hearted as folks from our enclave, right? There were people that were trying to steal from us. There were people that were violent and dangerous. And so honestly, this box, wood and metal, we didn't have wood. So this very much reminds me of some of the first things that we traded with folks, as that time of sort of stress and consternation sort of bubbled over, at around that time, as we were deciding what to do about our new situation that we found ourselves in.
And uh, this new life, this new knowledge and existence, um, was both enticing and nerve-wracking. What did you do to help yourself cope in those initial times?
Well, I made myself busy. I got a job. In fact, I got the job that brought me to Orcos, as a matter of fact. There was much debate, and what it really came down to, especially for us in Elorica, it was knowledge. We didn't know what we didn't know. We didn't know anything about the outside world. We couldn't plan. We couldn't decide. And we're a community based around knowledge about and wisdom and understanding. And so I, along with others from the temple, petitioned to be allowed to leave and find out what was out there.
And as you left, as you set behind you the safety that you knew, and you went out into this new world, dangerous world, a world plagued by the Umbra. Describe for me the first time you saw a touched creature.
Well, that was much longer ago than leaving the Enclave, because I mean, in the deep dark places, there we didn't find any people, we didn't really find any civilization, but we definitely found things in the dark.
Well,
And
then describe for me the
Yeah.
thing, the first time you saw a
Yeah.
humanoid touched, Umbra touched, that wasn't a creature per se, that was something that
Sure.
looked to you at first to be natural and human, and then wasn't.
It was really just profound and heartbreaking sadness, right? I mean, not even necessarily fear or worry so much. As someone who is deeply in tune with the ether weave and kind of and that seeing the Umbra truly sort of made manifest and to sort of corrupt such potential, the life of somebody basically corrupted and turned into this shadow creature, after sort of dispatching it, right? I mean, it was one of the hardest. The creatures are one thing, right? But the ones that used to be people are a little different. And yeah, it was just, that was a really profound, the sort of the heaviness and just it was one thing to know that it could happen to sort of mindless creatures. It was another thing to know that it's happening to everybody.
And knowing Ollie's nature, he was still curious. He wanted to know more. He wanted to understand how this could happen. Make
Sure.
me a knowledge check as you
Yeah.
analyzed this creature in your memory.
Let's see. Let me roll my duality dice. You said knowledge check, so that's a +2. That's a 3 with fear, so 6.
So as you look upon this creature's transformation is something that is not only unexplainable to how you understand biology, how you understand nature, how you understand, humanity or humanoids in general. This is a twisted being, and its evil is present in every fiber of it. And as you're looking upon it, you realize it is not done. It is not dispatched the way that the guards thought it did. And it begins to move towards you. What do you do?
Well, I if it's coming towards me, I would attack it with if it within melee range.
Sure.
Okay. As it runs towards me, I sort of fling my hand up because I'm, pretty close, very close to it. I'm investigating it, and use wild flames, and flames shoot out of my hand and engulf the creature.
All right, make that roll.
All right.
Assuming that's an attack roll you have to make.
That is an attack roll. That's a 13 with hope.
So this engulfs the creature, and it does finally fall down lifeless on the ground. Your connection with the ether weave has saved you. Take that hope as you then find yourself back in the street holding the box and remembering that moment as you see once again the stress in this gentleman's eyes as he watches you. Safety
I
box.
I smile at him very sort of reassuringly, making sure the warmth gets all the way to my eyes. And I sort of make a show of like fiddling and messing with it as though I'm, kind of doing a mechanism and sort of twisting and turning it. And as I do so, I just sort of listen to the weave a little bit and use prestidigitation. And so this is I perform harmless, subtle magical effects at will. For example, I change an object color, create a smell, light a candle, cause a tiny object to float, illuminate a room, or repair a small object. So as I'm sort of fiddling and twisting and making a sort of big pantomime of it, I listen to the mechanism and just sort of nudge it ever so gently, and it slides into place, and the box sort of just unfolds and the lid slams shut.
How did you do that?
My friend, a tinker never reveals all of his secrets, then you wouldn't pay me for the next time. But this one, and I sort of pat him on the shoulder, this one is on the house. It is difficult times, and I think a smile is what we all need on this day.
And he kind of gives you a little bit of a half smile and kind of just stares at the box and back at you a little peculiarly because he doesn't understand exactly what you did. He's not keyed in that you did magic, so therefore it looked like the same thing he did, and then it was fixed. He doesn't have any grasp of how it happened.
And
But
I
he
will
does.
smile and I'll say, well, and the box was free, but the delivery that I will need my payment for that.
Yes. And he reaches into his coin purse and passes a few coins in your direction. And as you make your way down the street to your next stop, which will bring us to Dazin. Where are you on this early fall day?
I am already out on an early patrol around the walls of the fort, of the town. Out making sure everything's alright.
Most excellent. As you are traversing your rounds, as it were, the Okros is a kind of a walled village amongst a swamp. So you are making your way on, typical rounds that you're used to traveling on, just keeping an eye out, doing your normal patrols. Go ahead and make me a instinct roll.
That is a 20 with fear.
So, with a 20 with fear, you sense that there's movement amongst the swamp headed in your direction, and the hackles kind of go up on the back of your neck as you are concerned that something or some several things are moving in your direction.
Uh, hmm. uh, I call out to make sure it's not people. Just, is anyone there? Make yourself known. My hands on my battle axe.
The movement in this stops, but you can feel these eyes on you, and as you scan the the different bushes and trees in the swamp, you are reminded of a time where you were doing the same thing on patrol and you were viciously attacked. Describe this memory you will relive in this moment.
More terrifying than I thought it'd be. My friend and I are out on a routine patrol, sent to investigate the broken emissaries who have been preparing to infiltrate the Athenium for purposes unknown. We didn't know that there was an ambush waiting. They surrounded us so quickly. I try my best to help my friend and to get out because there's no way we can fight so many at once. Just us. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
So as you try to defend and flee, give me either your choice, an agility or a strength check.
uh, Strength check. That is a 12. Critical success because they were both 5s plus 2.
Yeah, nice. So you gain a hope for
Hey.
that. And as you are able to pull your friend free to safety and find a high ground to defend yourself and your friend creatures, as you vanquish them, you are immediately brought back to the moment as you're staring back at this tree line and you realize it's gone dead silent. Whatever might have been moving in your direction or stalking you has either gone to ground or was never there at all. Loma, you hear movement coming down the road near the tree that you're standing. Voices, grunts, people laboring somehow as they move down the road near where you're perched in your tree.
I'm going to, as stealthily as possible, scurry towards the base of the tree, away from the perch that I was sitting on, more towards the trunk, and get as close up with my cloak up, and try to be as still as possible while keeping a very keen eye out for any movement that I can actually see, not just hear.
Make me a instinct roll.
Instinct. That is a 11 with fear.
Thank you for the fear.
I'm just dishing it out.
You do see, as you are looking, you do see there's one soldier wearing the insignia of Orcos that you guys know are the guards, with a bow and arrow nocked, walking ahead of two other guards who seem to be pulling a wagon as if they were draft horses. No horse to be found, but they are muscling this wagon towards the town. And that's the grunting and the struggle that you hear. However, the one with the arrow caught sight of you. You there! State your business.
Oh, hi. And I scurry down the tree, still keeping very close to it, turn around with my back up against the trunk. Just absolutely still. Apologies. Seems I've lost my way.
Are you okay?
Yes, I was just trying to find my way back to the fort. I was trying to get a vantage point. Do you mind helping me back?
One of the guys that's leaning over, enjoying the break he has from pulling this wagon, says, "Help us, we'll help you."
I can do my best. And I'll aid and go to him and take his place, and with all of my might that I have in my very thin, very 4'2" tiny stature, do my darndest to help pull this huge wagon with them.
So as you go up to the
to go
wagon, do
forward.
you have any visible
Any visible what? You cut out, sorry.
weapons on you?
Depending on how keen or perceptive they are, I have 2 daggers underneath my cloak. But they are at my hips, and more tucked towards the back of my body. So unless they were searching very hard, most likely it would not be seen.
So as you go to try to help the folks on the wagon, the guard with the bow says, "Can you shoot one of these?"
Why would I need to?
Because I'm going to pull the wagon and you're going to keep watch.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I can try, yes.
And he hands you a quiver, which is probably oversized for you, and a bow that is slightly oversized, and says, "Keep your eyes peeled. If you see or hear anything, you tell us, because we're going to be grunting and pulling as hard as we can."
Okay, let's go.
And you head your way back towards town. Is there anything you'd like to do while you're doing this?
Before we leave this area, before we start to actually pick up, you'll see Loma look back into the swamp, more away from the city in the opposite direction of where they're going. And you'll watch her sort of nod to nothing, seemingly, and bend down to the ground. And a tiny little, like, dirty brown color, light brown wood mouse with big ears but very small mouse is going to skitter out of the sleeve of her cloak stealthily, if possible, onto the ground and run off in the direction she looked.
Go ahead and make me a finesse roll to see if they saw you drop off said mouse.
Okay. That is a 13 with fear.
They are too busy pulling this wagon and grunting and huffing and puffing. You do see this wagon is laden down with supplies that you know are much needed in the town.
Okay.
And you do also notice that one of these soldiers has an injury on their leg and might have succumbed a little bit to the Umbra, but
Okay.
he's working through it. but it is very much visible to both you, and you notice the other two guards keep looking at him and checking on him, as is wont when someone takes a scar. Everyone
Yeah.
just starts to look at them a little differently, and you see that
Absolutely.
amongst them as this is happening as they are heading back to town. And that you pass several hours helping them go back. And Dazen, you see now. I'm trying to remember the connections. Did Dazen and Loma have a connection, right?
Yes.
Right. So you see Loma walking up the road with an oversized bow and arrow, looking about, and three of your fellow guards pulling a wagon behind you as you are sitting out on your patrol.
I'll put my battle axe in its holder on my back and run over to help. Why would you give this one of all creatures a bow?
I just
glaring
was
at
lost.
Lo.
Just was lost. Just finding my way.
Right. Sure. And I'll go to help relieve whoever looks the most tired pulling the cart.
There's two. It's probably the injured one, but the injured one and one of the others both kind of give you their spot, and then the non-injured one realizes and just kind of puts his back into it and whatnot as you are able to make your way into the gate area and come into town. As you pull into town, you see Ollie, you see this happening. You see the gate gets opened, which is done by one of the guards who was watching at the top of the gate. Hollers down to open the gate, and the gate gets pulled open, and you see this cart being drug in by now 3 soldiers. And I know you have at least a connection with one of the 2 of them. So you recognize.
I do, but I am also not the one to pull a cart.
Oh no! I'm not expecting you to. I'm just saying you see both Loma and Zin coming through with this cart.
Yeah. Well, I will just sort of lean a little bit heavily on my staff nearby and just kind of watch the cart come in. Obviously it's a great welcome relief for the supplies to be here. I have a bit of a limp, so I'm not exactly one for the heavy lifting, but I'm happy to watch and take part in this moment of joy from over here on the other side of the square.
Gotcha. So the guards, there is what would be very known to you all as having spent a decent amount of time here in Okros, is they use bells. If the bell starts ringing rapidly, there's a massive emergency. But they will toll a bell to get attention drawn at each of the gates of the town. So the one of the guys by the gate rings the bell twice and then lets it stop. And you would know that a short thing like that is usually them contacting each other. This is the watchmen all contacting each other kind of situation. But you would know that if that bell gets rung rapidly, there's an emergency, and that's an all hands. Everybody defend yourselves and defend the town. And then if it is rung steadily but slowly, that is usually a call to gather as an announcement or something important has happened that needs to happen. But this time you just hear that 2 rings, and eventually coming riding down on a horse, you do see the captain of the guard, which is the Evrados. He is a giant, a ridgeborn giant, on a very large horse comes riding up. He's scarred up. He's an obvious veteran. He comes in and bellows at these guards to report, and they say, "We found this caravan bringing supplies. They were wrecked. 3 other wagons were unable to move, and we laid this one down with all we could of the salvageable supplies. I do believe there might be a caravan manifest that we saved. It's in the back there." And he goes into the cart, pulls out this manifest, and begins looking through it. "Survivors?" And they all just shake their head.
While
And
this
he-
is happening, and they're distracted talking to each other, I'm going to be helping whoever is unloading and trying to see if I can stealthily sneak if there's a fresh looking piece of fruit or anything edible that looks foreign to me, but good, foreign but good, not bad. I'm going to try to pocket one.
All right. Please give me a. Which would that be? Agility, right?
I believe so.
Or finesse?
Probably finesse.
Or finesse, yeah.
Finesse. That would be
Yeah,
finesse.
finesse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a
That
finesse roll.
is yay, finally. A 10 with hope.
10 with hope. Okay. So you are able to pocket what looks to be a small fruit, might be a plum, but it has a different kind of shape to it. It's a little bit more oblong than a plum, but reminds you of a plum.
I'm gonna keep helping and genuinely helping. I'm not taking more than that, just trying to pocket something.
And Orve, you are able to, as you tavern, uh, come out to the street right around the time that bell was rung, which drew your attention as you saw the captain of the guard roll up to this scene where you see a few of your companions who you've met before involved in something or other. As you notice a wagon in the middle of the street with no horses whatsoever.
Orve's actually gonna first go over to Avrados, offering a. I know he's on horseback still, but kind of reaching up with a.
No, he got down.
He got down.
He got
Okay.
off. Yeah.
Kind of a clap on the shoulder and a hand shake, kind of like, I know you better than just I know who you are. But anybody who was looking might see that she palmed something into his palm, and with one more slap on his shoulder and a little wink, leaves whatever she put in his palm and walks back over to the wagon to see what's been brought in. What's her competition?
So, what did you put in his palm?
Oh, you'd like to know.
Well, since I am him, I should know.
It's actually just a small pouch of a finer tobacco than would be able to be had there.
Nice. So he does kind of give you a nod and whatnot as he sees that, and you do see that this supply wagon is laden down with all different types of goods, some foodstuffs, some of it is some cloths and sacks and burlaps and things like that, just supplies, generic supplies. That might be used for various and sundry things. some tools. There are definitely some tools in here, and what have you. But you could tell that it's kind of a bit of a mismatch. Like no one would have packed a cart like this to travel. So these soldiers obviously had kind of gathered what they could out of what had survived. And then one of the soldiers, the soldier that has the turns, sir, we counted 7 bodies at the ambush site. And he starts flipping pages. Give me their descriptions, and he's making notes right there in the ledger, trying to figure out who in this shipping ledger that might have been identified in the paperwork were these 7 people, and trying to figure all that out. Is there anything else any of you wish to do?
Orve's gonna kind of give a little bit of a once-over to the contents in the cart and try not to be obvious when she wrinkles her nose just a little bit, and goes up and makes small talk with the injured soldier.
And Zen's just gonna help unload and kind of inventory all that they've gathered.
Okay, so you begin trying to help them figure out what all this stuff is, and you see there are several other guards have shown up to try to help unload and sort and figure out where stuff is supposed to go, and different things like that. And eventually, someone you would all recognize as the town elder, Akadana. She is a orc, and she kind of functions as the mayor of the town. She has done a kind of once over watching what's going on before she steps in, and she immediately addresses Evrados and says, and indicates what should we do, how can we help figure this out, and she starts layering in questions, but also offering help, and you can see he's a little bit frustrated by her involvement. He wants to get this sorted out and then kind of report to her. So he's giving her answers, kind of trying to move her away and shuffle her along, but she's not giving in. You can see there's a bit of a little contentious relationship between the two.
Orve's
I
gonna...
am trying to be observant, but slowly sort of melt a little bit more on the unseen side of things. I still want to hear these updates. It sounds like it could be useful information, but I don't want to be as involved in the forefront, trying to stealth my way more in the crowd now.
So you're trying to hide more or listen? What are you
I'm trying to listen, but stay within earshot, but sort of peter out of the group directly helping, and more so just become an observer.
Gotcha.
Just to get some space.
I think Orve is going to pick up on that as well and kind of fall back a little bit with Loma. Kind of, how, not like link in arms, let's go, but kind of like, I see you. I see you.
Completely oblivious to all of this skullduggery, Ollie has caught sight of Oribe and has found a really unusual bug for her. So he comes over very excited, is ignoring completely everything that's going on with the political intrigue. And you feel like a little tap on your shoulder as Ollie kind of limps his way over to you and says, Oda, I found a new bug for you.
And Orve is going to be really, really, really conflicted because She really wants to look. She really wants to pay attention. She knows it's really important to kind of listen to whatever's going on, and she is torturing herself with the ah.
It sort of kind of becomes aware that there is like a whole kerfuffle happening and says, well, if perhaps a meal later would be better, you can see it. Yes, that would be good.
Fantastic idea, Ollie. Fantastic. Yes.
Good, great. I see they have brought things. Things are good, yes.
Indeed, indeed. And I know that the tavern right around the corner has some really exquisite wine for purchase. I think I'm going to get a discount.
Good, very good. I'm glad to see that you have arrived. We have needed good wine.
Oh, so much. So,
And
in an
whatever
hour?
this is. Yes, an hour, sure. And he will just sort of mill about a little bit aimlessly, but now at least in the crowd at this point. He still doesn't really know anybody else here. Zen is sort of busy. And Aura clearly wants to meet later. So he will just sort of do that thing that you do at parties when all of the people that you know there are talking to other people and you just sort of like stand there like
Nice.
Zen is going to make themselves look even busier after they notice that Ollie's around. They're just gonna constantly have their hands on something, even if they're just scooting boxes around.
Yeah, just here. Hello.
And you'll notice Loma is listening intently, but looking towards the ground. Not directly down, but she's searching for something low.
And what is it she's looking for?
Hillik, the mouse.
So the mouse would have returned, yes? That was
Yes.
instructions? Absolutely.
Yes,
I
the
think-
mouse
I
would
think
hopefully, and as long as I see it, the mouse will return to me with a little piece of straw. And you'll notice Loma relax a little bit and get a little bit more comfortable and not be as trying to escape, sort of just settles for a second internally.
I think Orve's going to catch wind of this literally, and a little nudge and a quiet comment to Loma. I think your friend has returned. No, with a little bit of a tongue against her very long fang, because it is a mouse.
Yeah, I respond very quickly and will hold, let Helic up back into my palm and hold right at my stomach, too low for the camera to see, but right at my stomach, just protective but confident. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. She'll step away because the temptation is pretty great.
Even Ollie will kind of notice this, and as a person with a little friend, kind of sees the signs of a hidden friend, but doesn't say anything about it. But just will kind of note that, just file that away for later. I don't really even know this person, but it's very interesting. Like nobody else has a rat that just runs over and runs up them and says hello. So as a person who is attuned to other people doing weird shit,
Nice.
Ollie notices that.
So the manifest that he's going through, he's starting to check off as things are being sorted and whatnot. And some of the things that are not in here, they're describing as that was ruined, that was broken, that was trash, that got spoiled, whatever the case may be, the different things. And the one thing that comes up missing are there was a case of maps that was in the manifest that has come up missing. And they're like, we never saw a case of maps. That would have been something really odd and specific, and we would have found that. And in addition to that, as they look through the manifest and they talk about the bodies they found, there's a person missing. There were supposed to be 8 total people, and only 7 bodies were found.
Do they know which one was not accounted for?
Yes, because the descriptors and who these people are, but some by name, some by a physical descriptor. Or yes, that was obviously the smith. We could tell it was the smith because of the way he was dressed, and this and that, those kind of things. They were able to deduce and put together that there was a scholar that was traveling on this caravan that has gone missing and is not with them.
Do we know anything about that person's name, who they are, where they're from?
You're hearing snippets, so you hear go ask more information.
I would like to
or
go
figure
ask.
figure out another way to find it. You can.
I'm gonna sidle up to Avrados and see if I can find out if we know anything more about the scholar. Specifically wondering if he's... Isn't it Celsian? From Amber Reach.
Yeah, the Celsons, I think.
Yeah. Because they are scholarly folk.
Yes, and it's actually a. His name is Cree Keenmore, which you would recognize as a ribbit name. And yes, he was from the
Celsians?
Yes.
And their map's missing. And Orbe is just gonna close her eyes and shake her head because she's pretty confident this was the work of the Damask Queens. At least that's who she thinks it is. And she's debating whether or not she should say anything.
This person who's missing, they're a scholar? Could they I peep in after being hidden sort of behind Aura. And sheepishly, but yet somehow confidently. Were they coming to help? Do we know anything? Why were they coming? Where were they coming from with the supplies? Why?
Sorry, there were no survivors. We don't really know anything about them other than what's written in this manifest.
How far away were they?
What do you mean, how far away? Where'd we find it?
Yes.
Oh, not far from where we saw you.
Okay. And she's gonna sort of cower back for a second, thinking to herself very prominently about something.
Anything else of note missing besides those maps and the scholar? I mean, that's pretty notable, but
everything else was pretty much like accounted for in terms of like it didn't make it on the thing, but they saw it at the wreckage, right? Like, there was foodstuffs that were busted open and spread all over the ground, and there's no way to pick up flour right off the ground in a way that's going to save the flour, right? Like that kind of thing. So they were able to find most of the things or account for it, other than apparently a case of maps and this one scholar, are the things that are not in this shipment.
Does the manifest document the origin of these all of these goods? Like, or is the manifest just a list of things? But does it document?
As far as you're asking, where was sent?
You cut out
Is that what
completely on that line. So sorry.
Sorry, you're asking where this was sent from?
Yes.
Yes, this would have been sent. I've got to find the location. 1 second. So this came from Amber Reach.
Okay.
So this came from the big city, and this is a common occurrence that the big city is trying to help support these other budding, smaller villages, because they're trying to make society last and come back and grow, right? So it's very common to get supplies delivered. This one just happened to not fully make it here unharmed. So. And several of the 7 victims in this case were guards of the caravan. That was their job, So it's not like it was all passengers and stuff like that. So these weren't common folk. There happened to be the scholar traveling with.
You said they weren't common folk, or they were?
They were most of the people that died were guards.
Sure.
They weren't like, it wasn't like a passenger train, right? So
yeah.
Hey, Zin, have you seen anything odd out on your patrols lately?
Look over at her and stop messing around with boxes to appear busy. I thought I heard something this morning, but I haven't seen anything, no. Not more unusual than that one gesturing to Ollie, wandering around the swamps and nearly getting eaten.
I'm completely oblivious to that. I'm chasing butterflies.
You'll notice that Orve has kind of shrunk back a little bit with Loma. The shadows are looking pretty enticing right now, as she's formulating what she thinks possibly could have happened. She is removing herself from obvious line of sight.
Loma is going to try to starts not glaring but intensely looking at Zin to try and signal, without moving, without speaking, that I wish to speak to them, and slowly start slinking to a inconspicuous area, whether there is a little alley nearby or just somewhere a little less in front of everyone.
Zin will take a moment to make sure nobody's directly watching them before following after Lo with a mildly disgruntled expression and stiff posture.
You are able to get away without, things are starting to break up now. Salvageable goods are headed where they belong, and you notice that the town elder and the head of the church are headed towards the tavern to probably have a deeper conversation about all that has transpired.
Before Orve completely disappears, she is going to go to wherever Ollie is and kind of grab the back of his shirt just a little bit and give a tug and kind of try to guide him.
Yeah. Oh, but dinner, yes. And he will gladly sort of come with you.
All right, so yes, you are able to sneak away into an alley if the two of you want to have a private conversation there.
Okay. You'll find Loma hood up, back into more incognito mode, even though not hidden, just in the alley, waiting for you. And when you walk up, she's gonna, I know you may not trust me, but I could help and I don't trust them. So, I trust you enough. Will you come with me to where they were found? Can you figure out where exactly they found the people? And we can go to them and I may be able to help. But I don't want them coming. I don't want them to know if I can't get any information. I'd rather not know how I can get information.
How are you going to get information? What do you think that you can do that they have not tried?
We have to go fast. Do you think you can do this for me? I don't know how much time we have. I don't know how long they've been dead. If this person could help in any way, times are dire. I want to help, but will you just come?
Zen's just going to, sigh really heavily and rub their temple. Fine, yes, I'll come with you. Let's go now. Everyone seems pretty busy.
Thank you. And she's gonna stealthily follow Zin out of Orkos. Hopefully as quickly as possible.
Splitting the party.
Well, I was going to say that I noticed that this conversation was happening, and I wasn't near to hear it, but
Sure.
I feel like I would have drug Ollie along. Very confused Ollie, thinking we were going to dinner, and yet we're not.
Leaving the city.
But as we walk, Ollie starts saying things like, "Oh, it's very interesting that scholar went missing, and only maps." Like he's just sort of like musing out loud, and is actually way more tuned in with what was happening than he definitely seemed like he was. And while he's going off to dinner, he is definitely also watching the alley, because, again, living underground, darkness, low light does not bother him in the slightest. So over there in the dim shadows of the alley is clear as day, these two people sitting there having a conversation. And so you are sort of leading a befuddled Ollie along, but as you are leading a befuddled Ollie along, you start to get the sense that maybe Ollie isn't nearly as befuddled as he seems like he might have been.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So since this has happened in this way, I'm going to say the two in the alley are trying to be stealthy. So they went down there, but now that they're leaving, now that they've had their conversation and are moving, they're trying to sneak out of town, I assume. Is that correct?
Lo might be trying to sneak. Zen does not sneak. Zen is 7 feet tall with a battle axe. There's
Okay.
no sneaking.
All right. So Lo, why don't you give me a
A what?
finesse?
Finesse heard. That is a 21 with hope.
Wow. All right. So you are able to sneak in whatever manner you wish to get away. However, you realize you might be doing it so well that Zin might not be able to keep up or even see you.
Zen just keeps walking. They're like,
We
they act like they're going back on their patrol, basically.
so I think
Gotcha.
Everything's
Okay.
normal. Everything's fine. It's not sneaking. It's just they're walking.
I think we would probably like to catch up to Zin.
Yeah. So the two of you that are catching up to Zin, go ahead and make me instinct rolls to see if you actually saw Loma sneaking off. It's not likely, but you might have.
That's a 10 with fear, so...
All right.
Well, mine was a 12 with fear.
I feel
Excellent.
like that's true to character.
Yeah.
So you definitely did not see her sneak off, but it's not hard to follow the big great axe wielding giant. If that is your intent.
Yes. And I want to, where did Loma go? I'm gonna ask Zin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking Zin, where did Loma go?
I am not her keeper.
You're walking in
And
the
you-
same direction, and now she's gone.
I don't know if you've noticed, but she does that quite often.
Fair.
Zin, you hear a little squeak at your feet, and Hillik is there, just standing on the boot of the toe of your shoe, looking up at you, and you're gonna hear it as I walk out from seemingly nowhere to join you guys now that we're away from the crowd, and not walking out as a large group together.
It's a good trick.
Get your mouse off my shoe before I squish it.
Oh, okay,
It wouldn't be on purpose.
I don't understand.
It's a lovely.
He's so kind.
It's a lovely, lovely mouse.
Thank you.
I have very big
I'll just
feet.
give him-
It's very small. I wouldn't
I
even do it on
know.
purpose.
I know. He likes friends, and he has to stay hidden so often. I feel for him. And I'll tuck him away back in my cloak. And then I'll be like, did you find where we need to go? Do you know where they are? To Zin. Because I was so focused on stealthing, I assumed Zin got the information of where we're going.
You were with them before I was. Did you not
Okay,
see the
fine,
direction
I'll-
they came from?
Yes, I was just hoping. Never mind.
Okay.
Let's go back to
Lama,
where
there
I
are
was.
only
I
so
can
many
find
safe
this
roads.
Listen, everyone, listen. I don't think we want to go outside of these walls right now. I think I know who attacked this caravan. I think I know who has the scholar and the maps, and the last thing we want to do is be out near where they were. I think we need to fall back, think about this, and then make a decision.
Yes, most people don't like to go to places where others were attacked and died. And
Spec-
yet, gestures to Loma, this one wants to.
I can get answers. If it hasn't been too long, I can get something. I have a way with those who are gone. And she sort of looks off into the swamp. I just... If you think we shouldn't, then I'll trust you. But if we need more information, if I can go to them now, I may be able to learn something. I just want to help. I want to gather people who can help.
I do not know if I have a vote, but it would be very interesting to find out what a ribbit was doing coming to this place. I do not know that I have seen many others of his kind here, and to be coming with a crate of maps and then have both disappear is very concerning and unusual. And if we can go and find him before he is killed, or perhaps gives whoever took him the things that they want, it might be very good for both us and for Orcos.
So Zen was not paying attention to the leaders having this conversation, but now they kind of stand a little straighter and look a little concerned, and they're like, we should go to this place where the rivet was taken.
I do have a vote. It's 3 against 1.
You don't have a vote. There's no voting. You two don't even have to come if you're so concerned.
Well, I'm not going to let you go out in the middle of the forest with what could possibly be out there. I might be the only thing that
They
can
take
help
me out
you.
there for weeks. This is great.
So
It's just gonna pinch the bridge of their nose, like, why is my life like this?
So Zin, being a member of the guard, has obviously kind of free reign to come in and out. However, it is a walled city with guards and whatnot, and they don't typically just let the common folk go wandering off. Loma, you are used to that, and you have found ways to sneak in and out as you are not enjoying life inside city walls, as it were. But you do have to be stealthy and careful to leave. So, how are the 4 of you intending to leave the town together?
Orave has probably procured innumerable items that might be considered contraband for probably any given guard, and going in and out is zero problem for her.
So, are you using an ability? Are you how are you choosing to get past the guards?
Just gonna eye who is at the gate that's coming up next, and remember what the last thing was that they wanted her to try to find from the city, and kind of give them the, you ready for more of that?
So you're trying to persuade him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Make me a making sure I have my presence roll. Yes.
Okay. I'll probably suck at it. That'd be great. Oh, I will not suck at it. That would be a 20 with hope.
Nice. Yeah, I would totally love some more of that if you find it, but don't let the others know.
I got you. Just
All right.
gonna go. And the little guy's with me. He's really, really helpful. I know it seems weird, but you know I have my ways.
I just smile brightly.
Yeah. Go quickly. I don't want to get in trouble.
So I'm gonna.
Zin's just gonna give a wave, like, I'm going back on my patrol outside. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Doing Zen stuff where Zen goes. Don't worry.
And Loma, how are you trying to?
I am sneaky pathing it out.
All right.
In my sneaky fashion with my sneaky little entrance and exit that I have.
Give me a finesse roll.
All right. My sneaky gal. Finesse, I believe, is 2. Finesse, 15 with fear.
All right. I have officially maxed out my fear. As you all have made it out of the town. As you do so, Loma, you do get a sense of foreboding as you have snuck out. You haven't been watched, but there's something out here. Something's watching. You can't shake that feeling.
Does it feel directional or just sort of omnipresent?
Kind of omnipresent right now.
Okay.
You don't have a sense of direction. It's not behind you. It's
Mhm.
definitely not behind you, because you know behind you is the safety. And the city isn't just safe because of the walls. It is safe because it is flooded with the light of the pyre, of the sacred pyre flame, right? So as you step into the shadowy shadows is where you feel this presence.
Okay. Are you all ready? I'd like to move fast. If you follow me, I can be swift and keep us safe, but you have to let me know if I'm going too fast.
As you say that, and as we sort of get away from the city walls, Ollie stops limping and is keeping up with you just fine.
That's great. That is
Loma sort of,
fantastic.
Loma sort of does a nice little like, and keeps her head up, little smile.
Sin's just gonna roll their eyes and be like, "Of course you'd get out of working that way. Of course you would."
Orve did not pick up on any of that. And if you notice, she is dramatically different now that she's outside the gates. She is head on a swivel, careful movements, wincing as anybody's making too much noise, like seriously on edge. Very much not the kind of cocky little Han Solo type. Not anymore.
And Loma sort of seems the opposite. She seems calmer, less anxious, than when she is inside the fort. She seems oddly a little bit more at peace, although incredibly still aware. She is not letting her guard down by any means, but she seems a little bit more in her element.
And as
And
you
she'll dart forward.
traverse, I'm looking up trying to find the rules for group checks because I believe this would account
So
for.
while you're finding those rules, Miranda, you just as a little like nobody like just there's like a little tap on your shoulder and you see like a little tiny sort of a will-o'-the-wisp, like a little air elemental, and it gives you just the tiniest little wink and then disappears sort of back under Ollie's robes. And Ollie kind of gives you a little sideways glance and just sort of like winks at you.
I from out of my the top of my little cape, you'll see the mouse stick its head up and just look straight at you and go back away.
And that is all.
All right, so to get where you're going, it's going to be a group action roll. You need to pick one of you to lead said roll. And then before that person rolls, everyone else will roll, and any successes you make add a +1, or any failures -1 to the main person's roll.
So are we? What are we rolling? When we decide who's doing it, what is it? Instinct?
Well,
Yeah, what are we
you guys.
Are we trying to track through the swamp? Is that kind of the idea? We're trying to find the location.
Correct. So
Okay.
you can easily get back to where they found you, Loma, but beyond that, right? Beyond that, you need to kind of figure out where you're going. So tracking makes sense. You guys can tell me, right? Like if you have a way to come up with one of your skills and you're like, I think I can do history with,
Okay.
then tell me how you could do it with history. So you get to pick, you guys get to decide who the group leader is and what that role is. Everybody else doesn't have to make the same role. They get to say how they would help that person do it. So maybe somebody's knowledge role helps a survival, right? Or you know what I'm saying?
I may throw a wrench in this whole group check. As a wayfinder, I have an ability called Path Forward, And
Tell me about it. That's what this is all about. Tell me about
it
it.
says when you're traveling to a place you've previously visited, or you carry an object that has been at the location before, you can identify the shortest, most direct path to your destination. And I know that one of us pocketed something off of the supplies that came in.
Okay. So
What?
you're that ability does what?
It gives me the shortest, most direct path to the destination. It's called Path Forward, and it's part of the Wayfinder subclass abilities.
Sweet.
That is very convenient.
Yes.
So how do you propose to do that?
Okay, I'm gonna
You have to
say
confront. You're right.
you can't tell me that all of us who were helping get stuff off the wagon, there wasn't anything anybody picked up at all. Anything?
I'm just gonna look actively offended, like, no. No!
Like anything.
And I'm just gonna stare at Aura and sort of purposely avoid Zin's eye contact and go, "Can I please keep it?" And I'll pull out the little plum.
And I'll be like, the wagon full of everything, and you chose this. Okay.
It's not for me. It just will make someone's day brighter, I know.
Okay.
I just want to keep it, and I'll hand it to her.
Okay. So
It does look delicious.
yeah, so Orve's gonna hold it in her hand and kind of close her eyes and smell it. Not too close though. And deep breath, thinking. And then she's gonna stand up and hand it back to Loma. Like take your
Pockets it
fruit.
immediately.
And she should be able to point them in the right direction.
All right. So I just want to check this feature again. It is called
You talking about mine?
yeah,
Path
forward.
Path forward, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so in your moment of commune with this fruit, you catch you catch the scent. You take a deep smell of the fruit, and your heightened sense of smell kind of kick in, and you realize that, oh, that's the obvious. If they talked about carts of broken produce, I can follow this. I can figure this out. And you start leading the way through the swamp, dealing with sifting out the different odors that your Qatari senses allow you to, and your training from your endeavors in the wilds, and you are able to find your way to a section of road with heavy swamp on both sides. It's kind of almost like a land bridge between two very wet areas that these carts were coming through when they were ambushed. And you see two carts are toppled like on their sides into the water. And another one has its front two wheels snapped off and is just kind of partially blocking the road. You see ruts where the wagon that was pulled was obviously the one in the front that wasn't damaged, was pulled from this area. You see several broken crates and strewn supplies in the water, most of which is ruined, broken, unsalvageable. It obviously looks picked clean as you find this area. Off to one side, just past the land bridge, as the ground gets a little bit more solid, you see in very, very shallow dug graves 7 piles of stones and dirt as they buried the bodies in the ground.
Is there anything that might appear to be indicative of was this like a haphazard just attack, or was it more calculated? Like, were they looking for something in particular?
So you can analyze, give me a knowledge check to see if you can figure out how this attack went down.
Oh, I'm so bad at that. Okay.
If there's something else you want to try,
Oh no.
describe what you want to try, right?
It's okay. That's good. I'll take it, even though it was with fear. 17.
Okay. So you're looking around trying to figure out this. Something big had to have hit those wagons to do the amount of physical damage you're seeing to the wood. Something rather large.
Do the things look just haphazardly scattered, or does it look like they were rifled through?
It's kind of hard to tell. There's been a lot of rifling but you guess that might have been the soldiers that came across this trying to find salvageable things.
Okay.
I'd like to look around. Are there any like tracks or large prints from whatever creature attacked the looking for big claw marks or prints? And also, obviously there are probably a lot of human tracks because we're on a road and there were 7 people and also 3 guards there. But like, kind of, if we can figure out the direction from where the beast came, did it come accompanied by anything or was it by itself, right? Like, that's what I'd kind of like what I would like to try and figure out by analyzing the scene and like looking at the broken wagon and around like for tracks and that.
Yeah, you can give me either a instinct or knowledge roll, depending on how you want to flavor what you're looking at.
Okay, I'm gonna flavor this with my years of studying umbral creatures and various and sundry things like that, in addition to ether, the ether weave.
I also want to remind everybody about using hope, because you've been gaining some hope when you're rolling with these hopes, right? So you're welcome to use a hope to apply an experience, which gives you a +2, or you can burn a hope to give someone else advantage, right? But
A
you have
lot
to
of my
say how you're.
abilities are burn hope to cast. So
Yes, I understand you're banking
I'm
it.
just saving.
I'm not trying to make you use your resource. Actually, I am.
Yeah, you are. First base spree, guys. Yeah.
Um,
All right. So
But I just
let me
want a
roll this.
reminder, it is session 1. We're just getting our feet wet underneath us. No swamp pun intended there.
That is a 20, but with fear.
Okay, so you definitely think that something leapt out of the swamp that was large and shoved one of these things off to its side or crashed into it or what have you. The thing that's missing, it occurs to you with that check, is there is no sign but hoof prints of any horses. You see no horses whatsoever.
So the horses are gone.
The horses that were pulling these wagons are nowhere to be seen or found.
Do we see hoof prints leaving?
Give me a instinct check for that.
Okay.
While
The other thing
everybody's
I
looking
find-
around, just to note, Loma has quietly, calmly walked straight to where the graves are and is sitting in on her knees, with her head bowed, just silent in front of their graves for a moment.
That was a 21 with hope.
Nice, take that hope.
I did.
You definitely do see that there are 3 distinct sets of horse tracks that did flee from this position. There are several other horse prints that look like they trampled around, and that looks like it could be a carcass of a horse got dragged off into the water kind of thing. So whatever this creature was probably was after the horses as much as it was after anything else.
But why would a creature attack the wagons, drag a horse off? Oh, and a scholar and some maps.
This is why I was looking for other boot prints. It does not make sense at all. Are there tracks of the scholar? He's a ribbit, right? So he would make very distinctive tracks.
He would make very distinctive tracks. But it also occurs to you, knowing that this scholar is a ribbit, that he's also amphibious. So finding his tracks in a swamp might not be that easy if there was waterways for him to possibly go into. And as you look around, you do see 2 distinct ribbit prints on the edge of the land bridge right near a large portion of water.
Yeah, I'll kind of point at those. I think our friend escaped.
If he's a scholar, he is
Whether
smart.
he took it. And ribbits are very peculiar. They have many abilities.
After some time around, I would presume, Loma gets up and goes to the carts silently and looks for any hidden compartments or anything that could be among the carts that were left.
So you can give me a instinct or knowledge, either one of those,
Okay.
whichever you prefer.
That's going to be a sorry, math is hard. 24 with fear.
24 with fear. Excellent.
A 12 and an 11, yes.
So you do find that there is a section of the wagons that the first wagon you go to, you do see that there is what appears to be a hidden compartment under the coachman's seat. Might not necessarily be a hidden compartment, but it obviously wasn't opened. The latch was still intact. And as you creak it open, you also hear some of the rocks begin to shuffle and move. As you turn and look, whatever's buried in those graves is trying to get out. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, yay.
Nice. Nice.
All right. So we made it through. You filled up my bunch of hope along the way, I hope.
You had to say it one more time. You cut out completely. You were so happy.
Sorry. I have
He's feeding on all of our delicious beer.
Yes, what I said was that I'm super excited that you filled up my fear meter. But I also know you guys also gained a bunch of hope along the way, so hopefully that will help you as well. And got to know these characters a little better, started to get the feel of this place, and here we are in a swamp with some creatures that are trying to get out of their graves. No big deal.
Ew.
I'm sure we'll come up.
Oh.
All right. Well, this is a lot of fun. This is uh, our Tales by Pyrelight campaign. We are Dicey Decisions. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. We have our Friday night D&D campaign, our Twist of Fate campaign, and our Monday night Zeros to Heroes campaign. So come join us. Also, we try to do one-shots as much as we can. With anyone on our Discord is welcome to join our Discord and become a gamer with us. That is actually how we found Nico, which is super cool. Please join us on our Discord, hang out with us, interact with us, and when we offer one shot, if you're interested in streaming with us, claim a seat or even offer to run something. We're super open to all those kind of things, trying to grow our community. So all of our back episodes of all of our campaigns are up on YouTube. This episode will be going up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So hopefully some people are watching it there too. So thanks for watching and listening, and hope you had fun, as much fun as we did. Good night, everybody.